Charlie, anything when it comes to responsible data or AI that personally you feel is a benefit to you?
The only thing that I would encourage people to start thinking about is like, and you kind of hit on it briefly, like what if people see your stuff? Like what if your data were to be exposed? What happens then? So I personally try to live my life as if my data could be exposed at any point in time. And, it's going to be embarrassing for sure, but I'll live. I'll make it through, as it were.
Yeah.
But it makes life hard. It makes life harder for sure when, everything you do could be visible. But really, like, if you sit and daydream about, like, how likely is it that your text messages are going to be leaked to the public at some point? Or what happens to your text message threads right now in 60 years? Like, are you going to be a 75-year-old that your entire life is exposed before you die? And then what's going to happen, like, once you've died? Like, your kids are going to be around, and then you as an adult have your data exposed, and then the entire family tree's worth of drama is exposed. And so I think living like those are the inevitabilities is a good thing personally, but also I don't mean to be too doom and gloom, but just knowing that's a possibility, and then like do as good as you can, but be ready just in case. So if you've been up to shenanigans, just be prepared to explain them all.
Well, I would say if nobody knows what you're talking about, there's a great book that just came out, I think last fall by she's a New York Times reporter, Kashmir Hill. She wrote "Your Face Belongs to Us," and it's a great look into how privacy has been impacted by data scraping. And that one in particular, to your point, is eye-opening if you've never heard of a company that back in the day scraped publicly accessible photographs from Facebook and anywhere online, Flickr, and has gotten to the point now where you can identify any individual. They sold it to law enforcement officials and all that. And so that is a real discussion that needs to be had around responsible data and having stuff publicly available and therefore publicly scrapable.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just when it's purposely publicly available, but like, hacks happen all the time. Like,
Sure.
There have been many notable instances of data like getting out of the walled garden and then people being exposed, literally.
Or even, like I mentioned earlier, improper development of models where it's not privacy first or privacy preserving development, privacy preserving model where you can be linked. Yeah, and then if you think about it, then what happens if a bad actor gets a hold of that model and can extract data points from it? And
they will. That's the thing. It's like inevitably, like once the data's out there, a bad actor is going to touch it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think for me, because I do modeling, I'm probably that's where I feel like I'm most cautious. I've been trusted with data that is personal identifiable, and I have to be the one that masks it sometimes. I mean, I actually got a data set one time with tax ID numbers in it, and I'm like, "What are you doing? I did not need these." And they just hit star and sent me the file, which just means that they sent all the fields from all of the tables. And so I'm always thinking about, do I need that? Do I need this? Why? And people will say, well, that makes a better model, but does it? Why? Like, I'm not interested in the prediction. I'm interested in the factors. And so keep it to the things that I want to control. So I'm more on the data cleaning side, spending a lot of time, and that's not really personal. That's more professional.
But from a personal standpoint, do you want to give that makes you stop and think, if I'm signing up for a new service or I'm sharing data for whatever reason with a vendor, do I need to give them this information? Yeah. Is that pertinent to what they need to do? Do I trust them to handle it for that exact reason?
That's like when back in the 90s when they started collecting your name and number at the store.
And they still do. Yeah, give me your phone number. What?
I worked in stores then, though, and when we first started asking people for their name and stuff, they're like, why do you need that?
That's right.
For our mailing letter. No.
Yeah, and why at Hobby Lobby do I need to give you my phone number? So it's 555-1212.